I'm going to be sharing with you all my fresh perspective on the Bitcoin charts. It's been a few weeks since my last video, so we have a lot of important information to cover here. Of course, previously, my bias over the past few months has been leaning more bearish. I was looking for drops to the downside, and it's fair to say those big drops to the downside did come. After hitting the CME gap and filling that, we have seen a relatively large rise to the upside. So now we need to go over these charts and think to ourselves, is this the bottom in now for Bitcoin off of that CME gap fill? Is it up to new all-time highs from here? Or is this the fake out rally, lower highs for new lows to come? If you've been watching my previous videos, you know that was my bias. I was very much more bearish, looking for the drop to the downside. We did get the drop. We did fill the CME gap. This rally was a short opportunity. So I want to be, updating you on this. I will always say trade the charts. A bias that I had a few weeks ago now can be absolutely 180'd and I'm very bullish. So stay tuned. I'll be letting you know in this video. And I want to start off with a quick 20-second short. Not a crypto short here, but a short reminding you of what my prediction was back in, this was the end of February, right? So yeah, around the end of February. This is when it was posted on YouTube. The prediction itself was a few days prior to this. But nevertheless, at the time, Bitcoin was trading around $96,000. And we were talking about why we were looking for Bitcoin to drop and the importance of the CME gap, which for me, this CME gap was like the last level of support. It's absolutely crucial. But I want to just play 20 seconds just to remind you, if you've forgot or if you're new here, to let you know what my bias was a month ago. You can definitely look for a long opportunity from filling the CME gap, but way I would view it is I would really be thinking that the bull market is over and we're in for a much bigger pullback. So I would agree that you can definitely look for the longs off the CME gap, but I would be with the viewpoint of, okay, if we get along there, I'd look to close it on a retest, let's say, of 90k before then expecting a bigger drop to around 70k, the bull market. So you can see basically the way my thought process was. While we were back at $96,000 here, I was saying, you can definitely look for the long off of that CME gap fill. And you can see if you longed the CME gap fill, you actually longed the exact low of the move. Very, 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 very precisely. And from that CME long gap fill, price has now risen 15% to the upside. So a very substantial move to the upside, all off of that one factor. And that was, the filling the CME gap, right? We knew that that was a long opportunity. And this is what's very important to understand. My thought process here was, if we fill the CME gap, yes, for me, I was thinking that the bull market thus is over. That for me is a major sign of weakness. But nevertheless, even though that was a major sign of weakness, it was still a long opportunity from the gap fill. It's just we're not looking to take it from 76,000 to 130,000. We're looking to take it from 76,000 to around $90,000 to $97,000 before then making new lows. So there's a long opportunity for sure, right? It's just you have to manage the expectations of where it's going to go after hitting this resistance. The thought process at the time was making its way all the way back down to new lows. So now I want to explain, is that still the case? Is the long from the CME actually the low? And from here, we're just going to make our way up to new all-time highs. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video and let's get into it then. So again, yeah, this is the low that was formed off the CME gap fill. I'm just going to hide everything here so it's a little bit clear. But you can see after this low that was put in on Tuesday, 11th of March, right on daily open, actually, of Tuesday, this was significant because, of course, Bitcoin was filling its CME gap. And I know I've been mentioning this before, but nevertheless, I remind you that Trump coin was also putting in this significant low, taking out $10 psychological. So if you look at when Bitcoin put in its all-time high, it was very close to when Trump coin started its major decline. So Trump coin to take out $10 psychological for me is a massive level. And at the same time, Bitcoin filling that CME gap, it was just like a level of confluence. But of course, the long trigger itself was based off the CME gap fill. But if you're aware of the Trump coin and its correlation there, it played a significant role in my opinion. And from there, it has just been up. So really simply, we can see we formed the low, we formed a high, we formed a higher low, we've formed a higher high, we've formed a higher low, we've formed a higher high, we've formed a higher low, we've formed a higher high. We could have just put in our higher low, and we're building our way up here. I want to just remind you, I hope you follow me on Twitter or X, because I have, of course, I've not been making YouTube videos over the past few weeks, but I have been doing a few updates over on X, and of course in the Discord for the champion members. I've been telling them preference is still higher for Bitcoin, not taking any short trades. This was back on the 16th, so actually 10 days ago. Still telling my team, still looking for this to rally. The longs from the CME gap, there's no reason to close. And then 10 days later, my bias has not changed. I've still not taken any short trades. At the time, I had not taken today. I've still not shorted this rally. Still think the longs are absolutely should be kept open. And then again, on the 24th, still the same opinion. No short trades, can remain in the longs from the CME gap fill at 76,000. I then was saying the next target is 88,000. You can see right now we're trading at 88,000. I was updating my team again that, still no short trades for me. And this was from the Champions live stream. I actually shared some really nice long trade setups. So if you want to get in on those or understand those long trade setups, that's all being shared inside of the membership. But for now, just to remind you once again, day on day, it's been still no short trades, and I would love to see higher prices to come. So while I got it up here, let's just remind ourselves here that you see the importance of that $10 psychological. And if you actually go back and watch my previous YouTube video, I was talking about Trump coin and this psychological level. And then after that, Trump actually tweeted out saying that he loves Trump coin, so cool, greatest of them all. And I just wanted to highlight that you can tell that the liquidity and stop loss hunting really is what drives this market. Okay, the moves, the posts, the liquidity spots are all orchestrated, nothing random at all in these charts. And yeah, this tweet was it's just done at a perfect time. It's already taken all lower liquidity. It's then got an easy move to the upside, and I wonder who made a lot of money on that one. So yeah, now what have we got going on here? We can zoom in a little bit more. Of course, we've had those nice series of higher highs and higher lows, which I've brought your attention to, but not that difficult to see. What we're forming now is an ascending triangle. So you can see we've put in locally a higher low, higher low, higher low, and we've put in, to be fair, a lower high, lower high, lower high. So I've drew this as more of an ascending triangle. You could argue that you could draw this as a symmetrical triangle, right? So it's forming a bit of a symmetrical triangle, but the difference between the two is very small here. They're both bullish patterns given the context, and the targets are going to be the same. So I will show you, first of all, two ways that you're going to be looking for this target. The first is from the low of the triangle to the high of the triangle here. So low of the triangle to the high, and you basically are, I would say, of course, the probabilities are this breaks to the upside, higher probability that we get bullish continuation. So then you are looking for this to break out, and the target is sat there around $91,600. I would always say this though, the probability is higher of a break to the upside, but that does not mean it's 100% guaranteed. You can always do a little bit of a fake out, something like this, and it actually gets reversal. So that's why I think it's very beneficial to be aware of the downside target at the same time. And that's where then you will move this down towards the low. And you can see that that actually gives a target of around 84,500. So again, higher probability of moving to the upside, but nevertheless, if we are to get that breakdown, we'd be looking for around $84,500. I just need to do something 1 second. And we are back. So yeah, really simply, that's the way that you can be aware of this lower downside target if we are to see the fake out reversal. But for now, of course, there's no reason to think that we are getting a fake out reversal, so we can continue to trade with a higher probability, which is a break to the upside. It's just, of course, an important caveat that should we get the fake out, what's the first thing you want to gonna do? You're gonna want to do look at the order flow. So you want to jump over to your order flow, be it Atos, Quant Tower, XO, and take a look at how the open interest is doing, how the delta is doing. Okay, how many type of liquidations, the trade counts. Use that information to make an informed decision of whether you're getting a healthy breakout to the upside or whether you do get that fake out with trap longs, into the high. It's going to be very key to know. So yeah, All I would say is there's one other slight thing that I would mention about this triangle, and that is the argument that the triangle is more forming here. And if that is the case, then of course that gives a smaller target. And from the low there to the high, just to be aware of this, you can see that would give a target of closer to around $91,000. But, you know, it's not massive there. And I think that it lines up perfectly, to be fair, with the bigger target. So yeah, a few other things that I'd bear in mind here, and that is jumping over to the ES and NQ. These are highly correlated markets, so the correlation between Bitcoin and ES has been smaller in recent times, but you know, there is still that correlation to be aware of, and the ES and NQ are looking very strong right now. I know some people might say, how is this looking very strong? It's just saw massive drops to the downside, but they've actually reclaimed value area lows, consecutive closes back above. In my opinion, the ES and NQ are looking very good, so that is positive for Bitcoin. So now the thing that you're going to be wanting to know, I'm sure, is, well, Daniel, are you still thinking that this is a bear rally to the upside or a bull trap before new lows? Okay, so my original prediction was that this is going to dump. Of course, you have the long opportunity at the CME gap. Remember, we were saying about the long opportunity at that CME gap. That will rally, and the target that I gave was $90,000 for the rally. So I was expecting this to rally to around 90,000 before making a move back down. So that was my thought process of how this would go. So it's very important to first of all say that this thought process was made over a month ago now, and it played out pretty well, fair to say, right? But what I need to say is that my thought process now can change. It's a month later, and my thought process can change, of course, hour on hour with new data that comes in if there's reasons to. So the biggest thing that we need to think now is this still a bull trap for new lows, or actually is the low in here and we are, you know, making our way up towards all-time highs? If you know my way of thinking, trading, teaching, it's all about probabilities. I know a lot of people, especially when they're new here, or they're just inexperienced with the markets, you know, they want to come on and they want to watch a YouTube video. They want to be told what to do, and they want they want to find a guru here that's the magic god that's going to tell them exactly what's happening. Sorry to break any hearts here, but that's just not possible. Okay, there's nobody in the world that's going to come on and do a YouTube video, or even not do a YouTube video and just know. Like, nobody knows what's happening next. Okay, I could come on here and do a very confident video of saying, oh yeah, they were definitely going to break up here. Would definitely see this in the charts, but it would all be lies, right? Because nobody knows what's happening next. We can have probabilities, yes. And that's what I trade off of, those probabilities. I will only trade when I've got a high probability. But in terms of 100% guarantees, that would be a lie for me to say. So in terms of the thesis, is the low in for Bitcoin? Well, right now we could say that probability is still not overly high. Why? Because of the key resistances that we have above us. So we have the key resistance of around 90. Of course, this psychological level, $90,000 to 92. While Bitcoin remains below these levels, then the probability of this local downtrend continuing is still fairly high, right? Because we've still put in a complete series of lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So this could, get a rally still to around that $90,000, $92,000, and it's still a lower high, right? Still overall a lower high. So that's just something to bear in mind, that for me to say with greater confidence the bottom is in, I would like to see the reclaim of 92. I think that 92.5, that for me is like majorly key. And again, it's all about those probabilities and updating and going with the flow. Trade the charts. Okay, of course, your biases and predictions, are helpful if you're good at trading, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to lose a bias and lose a prediction per se to trade the most recent data and thus probabilities. So I would say 92,000 to 90k is very key here. You can see the big confluence that you have around 96,000 here, like really, really big confluences. At this point, you're seeing major signs of strength. So the context there is very, very important. So for me to say, yeah, the bottom in is here in on Bitcoin, and that my original prediction was wrong. Again, this original prediction made me a lot of profit. So it's not too bad of a prediction to be wrong on. We dropped from 96 to 76 to now $88,000. So, nailed a short, nailed a long. But my prediction of now making new lows, that last part could be wrong. But I'm in a position where I'm going to be making profits off of this because, well, I think that it'd be really nice to get another rally above $90,000. I think that would be really, really, really nice. And at this point, then we start to, if we see that strength and the reclaims of those major levels, then I would say, yeah, actually my original prediction of the bull trap is invalid, incorrect. And actually I'm much more bullish looking for new highs. Whereas if we come up to those target zones, we get some major FOMO, major trap longs, a really strong rejection, well, then I would say, well, we can still maintain with that original bias for new lows to come. Of course, I do feel that we have some major long opportunities now because of the support that we've built up over the past few weeks. That context is very key to remember. Price is not going to just do down in one go. So you have long opportunities on the way down, right? So this can, of course, do something like this and bounce. And then at this point, you either get a full blown reversal or lower high continuation, but you still have those long opportunities at key points on the way down. And again, this is why, first of all, trading the probability of the original long trade, and then understanding, lock in that first take profit. Then if it gets a full bounce, amazing. If it ends in a low high downwards, well, you get stopped out after hitting a take profit one, hopefully move that stop loss up to entry. There's a lot of ways to make money in the terms of, do you know with 100% probabilities what's happening next? No, but you do not need to know what's happening next to make money. You just need a good trade setup. So once you've got a good trade setup, you take that trade, you've entered, you've locked in your position. At that point, you're at the realms of the market. You take a step back and you wait for it to play out. It either ends in a win, perfect. It ends in a loss, no worries. You get stopped out. You look for the next trade setup. Again, you're looking over the course of hundreds and thousands, millions of trades, right? If you've got even a 50% win rate, even if you're on a 30% win rate, if you're taking trades of high probabilities, and those trades are 3-to-1 risk to reward ratios, even with a lower win rate percentage, you're still making profits. Of course, my aim is to get you to high win rate trading, but even if you're at the learning stages, and you're on lower win rates, there is still profit to be made there. If you follow strict with your risk management and have that good strategy of finding good high probability trade setups. So, I wanted to do this video in a very honest way. Okay, very honest and transparent way. So again, I have not shorted any of this rally from 76 to where we are here at $88,000. For me, there has not been a single short trade taken, and very confident still. And I was still confident now at 88 that we can make another new high. For me, there's nothing bearish here. Even in the order flow, when you look locally, we form those crazy big bullish divergences. Just look at this, my friends, right? Ascending triangle. Big bullish divergences. Everything's pointing towards good high continuation. And I know some people might be a little bit frustrated by that, saying, oh, Daniel, a few weeks ago you were bearish on Bitcoin. Now we've rallied to $88,000. But, I don't think there's nothing to say really apart from, well, yeah, since a few weeks we've put in a major low, we've got market structure changes, we've got some really good views on the order flow. Like if this is the sign of a good trader, my friends, it's a sign of somebody that's able to update their biases and not have an ego, just be honest and transparent in terms of what they're seeing, the reasons why, and updating with the highest probabilities. I'm not here to sell you some sort of dream or say, oh yeah, this is definitely gonna, I'm just being real with you. Like, this is real life, this is real trading. And yeah, so a few weeks ago I was more bearish, but you have to remember, even a few months ago I was much more bearish, right? So like I've been saying, that played out. That was the correct bias to have. So now with the new information that we have here, I still think that we're going to head higher. And then, yeah, we'll trade it level to level and we'll see the reaction at our upper higher targets. If we get those reclaims, yeah, I would say the bottom is in, and this prediction of the lower high was incorrect. But at the end of the day, still got the long from the CME gap. So, that prediction was wrong, that we'd rally to 90k and then drop. But, who cares? Because we still have the long from the CME gap, $76,000. If it then goes to $100,000, well, perfect, right? The long is still in. We didn't lose any money. We haven't been shorting this rally. So, it's one of those where the bias or the prediction is wrong, but you still made the profits, and that's the important thing. Any last words of wisdom that I would like to say before I end? I do not think so, really. I've got a massive cold. I'm a bit under the weather, to be honest with you. So, yeah, my brain is a bit foggy. If I think of something, I'll tell you what, I'll write it on X. I'm getting into enjoying writing little X posts. So, yeah, once my brain fog's cleared, I'll give you an update there. But, I really, really, really wanted to give you this update, even though I really could be resting right now. But that's not who I am, right? If you've been following me over the years, I want to be here. I want to help you. And I really do have your best interests at heart. And that's what I'll say, right? A lot of traders, I always put this in bracket traders, because I don't know if they really are, but a lot of people can be influenced by external factors, right? They can show you something getting money being taken, right? Oh, I'll get paid in the background, and then I'll tell you, well, this is what's happening to this. Normally shilling an altcoin, normally shilling an idea or something like this, right? But the good thing that you have with me is I have zero external influence. I'm not influenced by taking bribes, taking deals, being paid off. I've generated everything that I need in life through my trading, and that's how you can always count on me to give you just honest views of the market. So yeah, if that's what you like, I know you do. That's why you're here. So yeah, I like to hold myself to those high standards, or just honest standards, and I hope that you can trust me. So yeah, thank you ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed. If you want more, you know where you can get it, and that is via chartchampions.com. This, of course, where we got the whole educational library, everything in terms of all of our educational pieces. This is where we post updates, talking about our trades. We have our live streams every day. So I got a live stream tonight. Eo had a live stream this morning. We got live trading tomorrow. I got a altcoin update. So, if you're interested in the altcoins tomorrow, I'll be diving through all of those altcoins for you all. And of course, I have an update live stream tomorrow in the morning covering Bitcoin and stocks. So you can see several live streams a day. Then you have another one from Igor in the evening. That's 3 live streams tomorrow: altcoins, Bitcoin, stocks, live trading. You got a round table tonight. We just got everything for you, to be fair. So yeah, we're a one-stop shop, and we like to think, yeah, it's a very good service that we offer. So yeah, cheers everybody. Thank you ever so much. That's me signing out. I hope it has been helpful. Remember, final words, trade the charts. Update with new information that comes in. Don't be the guy that has a bias, that's unable to lose it, and ends up just getting totally wrecked, right? I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much. And again, that now is me finally signing out. Cheers. Thank you, and goodbye. I will say this, actually, this video, of course, I had to end it halfway through. It will need to be edited. So I reckon the upload, editing, uploading, posting will probably be about 2 hours more or less, because I need to send it to the editor. So you can expect this video in a few hours to be uploaded. But yeah, cheers everybody. Hope this has been helpful. And yeah, that's me signing out. Thank you, and goodbye.